Hello, and welcome back to a special episode of Transylvaniacs, where your hosts are trapped in a parking garage. I'll let you do your bit now.
Every episode, we try and watch every Dracula movie from Dracula A to Dracula Z, except for now when we are stuck in a parking garage.
We are trapped in a parking garage. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. Will has come to Pittsburgh to visit and have a lovely Halloween weekend, but also specifically to go to the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater production of Dracula, which ran for one weekend only. We just caught the Sunday matinee and have been sitting in a parking garage for about 25 minutes now, and I think we've gotten down one level and we're on level 5, so we're never gonna get out of here.
So unfortunately, this matinee let out at exactly the same time as the Steelers game, and we are at a Steelers garage, and yeah, we're just, I think the technical term is fucked forever.
Yeah, I think we are, technically speaking, straight up fucked. But we just figured we'd do like a little kind of half episode for y'all while we're waiting. We were thinking about getting home and recording, and then we realized that we're going to be here actually fucking forever. Like, this is purgatory, and we might as well get some content out of it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, so this is going to be way looser and off the cuff than our usual affair. We're recording on Will's phone. So, man, okay. I don't have a lot about the history of this. I don't know a lot about ballet, but maybe we can just kind of read off what we have for, like, the choreographer and the composer, I guess.
Absolutely. And, what we got? So, as far as we know, the world premiere of this Dracula ballet was in 1996 in Bradford-on-Humber, England. The director and the choreographer for this production is Michael Pink.
Nice. Hell of a name.
Hell of a name. Composer is Philip Feeney.
Also a hell of a name. Feeney.
Feeney?
Feeney!
And I suppose we go over our cast real quick. I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right date. I was looking at the wrong one earlier, so let's get this shit right. Here we go.
Yeah, that's that one.
We've got Colin McCaslin as Dracula. David O'Matz as Harker. Andre Gallon as Quincy. Mina is Hannah Carter. Van Helsing was Jack Hahn. Lucy, Tommy Lynn Keston. Renfield, Emery Amoki. And Arthur was Matthew Griffin. No Seward in this.
Yeah, no Seward. So they did a wombo combo on the Van Helsing and Seward. But I was personally thrilled, and I know that you were explicitly excited to see the one, the only Quincy Morris get like a pretty juicy role.
Oh yeah, he is front and center in a lot of this,
which ruled. And of the principals, he got first, which I thought was unfair. I thought he should have gone after Arthur, because I don't remember what Arthur did in this, but I sure as fuck remember what Quincy did. They also dressed him in like little half boots, because he had his ballet shoes on, but they kind of made it look like he was wearing cowboy boots, which I thought was so cute.
Oh yeah, it was perfect, because I was trying to be like, I know he's in this. When's he gonna show up? And then you know the moment he shows up.
Yep, they got him in a fringe jacket and a big ass hat, which was awesome. But yeah, that was crazy. Just like first impressions off the bat. Again, I do not know shit about shit when it comes to dance. I am famously bad at it. Anything is going to be impressive to me. So I cannot accurately speak to the technical capabilities of any of these dancers, because it was all very impressive. However, this was crazy, right?
Oh yeah. There is a scene where Dracula leaps onto Jonathan, then like slinks down his back.
Whack. This was whack shit, okay? And like, here's how I will describe this plot-wise. It does follow the general beats. It is obviously abridged. But the way this worked is that it was broken into 3 acts that were each about 35 minutes long, with an intermission between them, which makes sense because like dancing for more than 40 minutes at a time seems crazy. And like in some of these acts, the principals were on stage the whole time. And I don't think you can, I don't think you can dance for an hour and a half straight. Like, that's whack. But we followed the general story beats pretty well. I'd say the only kind of major changes is that there was no Dr. Seward, and they did not go back. There's no return journey to Transylvania at any point. It's just the main kind of fight at the end with the Gang of Light took place in Carfax Abbey. And they also had it open, which was very confusing to me at first, and I thought I was losing my mind, with a dream sequence where Jonathan, who is recovering from having gone to the castle, has a dream that I'd say is maybe 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of seeing all of this crazy shit go down and kind of prophesizing Mina being turned into a vampire. And then they pull the scrim down. A scrim's like a very see-through screen that you can put at the front of a stage to project onto, and then did the title drop there. So that was kind of a fun intro, but at first I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like they have the framing device because they have the wedding, they have like him recovering.
Yes.
And then they have sort of it like some fantasy leaking out of that.
Right. And it's fun to see later where there's like some repeated movements, like they have Renfield kind of like clawing at Mina in the wedding. And then to see him do that later when they have their solo, I was like, I see what you're going for. It's all making sense here. But really unbelievably fucking good. What are some things that you want to comment on? Because I think the only really... There's a couple of actors that I want to point out. Bud, what the hell are you doing?
Oh,
Girly
Christ.
Pop, you were cutting me off in a parking garage. Like, we just got out the spiral and I'm being cut off here. Welcome to Pittsburgh, baby. God, I hate this place. Fuck's sake. Anyway, please tell me some things that you really liked about this.
I love the work I love the sets in this so much.
Dude, yes.
The Dracula's castle set is incredible. The way that they framed the sanatorium where Lucy's recovering, where they have Renfield, and they have sort of the foreground scene with Lucy's bed, and in the background with a catwalk that has Renfield's cell, and that was just so beautifully done.
Unbelievably cool. Unbelievably fucking cool. Yeah, the sets were really great. As you said, I thought they did some kind of fun creative stuff with the transitions too. Like when Jonathan's on the train, they had a light that had basically a stencil in it that looked like train tracks, and they had a set piece that was the spiral staircase they used a lot that they was able to be moved around. And they had that kind of be the train. Just like clever theater stuff that makes me miss watching live theater. Sets were amazing. Costuming was amazing. I do think it is sometimes, and we weren't super far away, but we were in the balcony. It was hard to distinguish some of the women in particular.
Yes.
And like Quincy was easy because he had such a distinct costume. Dracula's Dracula. But I kind of wish they had gone for either like simpler or brighter colors. For like some of the principals. And there were also some scenes where they had these really big group numbers and they'd have everybody dressed the same, which made sense for when they were like villagers or vampires.
Yeah.
But there was that really long party scene in the middle where everybody was wearing different costumes, and I'm like, I don't know.
No, that was
whack, right?
The opening of the second act made it very difficult to tell who was who in the introductions of the characters. You could tell when Van Helsing came in because he had this very this velvet purple like Willy Wonka jacket.
Yeah, they really did him dirty on the Willy Wonka front there. But Dracula, was for most of it in like a very plain black, I guess a leotard with like a vest over it. Mm-hmm. But he also had this crazy red cape that had long sleeves and like a train that he could dance with, which was very cool. And made it feel kind of unique in that regard.
Folks, we are so close to being out of this garage.
Oh my God, I'm thrilled about this. We're just gonna talk on the way home for the record. Like, we're doing this fucking live. But yeah, that was amazing to witness. Again, I don't have a great metric for how to speak to the quality of this, but I was really blown away just by seeing anybody do anything like that with their body. So I guess we should talk a bit about the choreo.
Yes.
Again, don't have great technical terms for it, but there was a good mix of traditional ballet and more contemporary, I would say.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I think the standout number for me is the interaction between Harker and Dracula
Yes. I'll get our ticket here. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thanks so much. That happens at the end of the first act.
Yes.
I think what stands out to me is the way that for the beginning of that piece, the music really cuts out. So what you're really seeing is Dracula's movements, and you're hearing the flaps of his cape as it moves. It was just incredible.
That was badass. That number also really stood out to me. And what I liked about this Dracula in general is that I think they had a really good mix of like aristocratic and feral. And that came through with the movements like super, super well. Oh yeah, we got a green left arrow here. That's what we love to see. We got a guy on a bike. Yeah, I think that was also kind of the standout duet for me was Harker and Jonathan in the castle. Male ballet dancers are fucking ripped because they're doing a lot of lifting. And I thought it was fun to have a duet of two men that really played off each other and included lifts. Like, there was one part you were talking about where he, like, crawls down him from being held. It was crazy. Yeah. And what we talked a little bit about, again, we went to go see this with former podcast guest and good friend Teresa Roberts-Logan. But kind of a crazy moment there, which I really liked, is that they made Harker's movements, the actor who played Harker, made it seem like everything was really difficult. Like he was really struggling. There are scenes where Dracula's straight up dragging him across the floor and he's putting his arms out and like you can hear his palms skidding across the floor because there's tension there. Like it looks like he's trying to get away. And he like runs up this spiral staircase and is like trying to get out of the castle. And, you know, it's taken him several seconds to stumble across the stage and he's falling. And then Dracula covers that distance in like 3 strides. So like the contrast of things looking easy versus looking like they took an enormous amount of effort was like communicated very clearly in that duet.
They did a similar thing with one of the primary props in that first act is Harker's trunk. And when you get to Dracula's castle, you see him really struggling to move that thing around. And you contrast it with Dracula, who just easily lifts it over his head and swings it around. It's really great use of the prop. There's almost always a light on it at some point. So even when it's not the focal point, it's still
easy enough to track.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was super, super clever. But yeah, I was very impressed by Harker in general. I thought something that was really fun, but a clever thing that was sad was in Act 2 when he has, returned and is straight up traumatized. They have him on stage for a little bit with a cane. And he does not dance at all in the beginning of Act 2.
Oh my God, I didn't even really think about that.
I was like, that sucks. They just kind of have him sitting. And, he sees the boat come in. He sees the Demeter and it affects him clearly. But, like, he doesn't do any of those group numbers. He is straight up just sitting with a cane. And I'm like, that's a good way to kind of, like, effectively communicate. Because I feel like it is hard to tell a story without any dialogue. But I thought it was pretty solid. Like, I could follow. I know the story. But, I could follow good enough.
I mean, I think that's one of the merits that we've seen. We also did Pages of a Virgin's Diary, which is another, ballet adaptation of this work. And I think, that pairs well with it being a silent film. Yes. And I think both are doing the same thing in that they're conveying a story in almost entirely through motion.
Yeah.
And I think...
Head east on South Commons toward Sandusky Street.
Sandusky Street?
Turn right onto Sandusky Street.
Yeah, let's go.
At the light, use any lane to turn right onto Sandusky Street.
Thank you, lady.
Thank you so much. You're doing a great job.
But yeah, communicating a lot through a little is the core of any kind of restricted medium like this.
I think my other favorite choreographed sequence is the opening of the third act when you're in the vault at Carfax Abbey and you have all of these vampires crawling out of the wall. It is so horrifying to watch. Their movements, like, at some point kind of resemble, like, a herd of rats.
Yeah,
scurrying.
it was definitely very very creature. They went heavy on that there, which was super cool. And like the ensemble in this put in the fucking work, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it is hard to perfectly sync up your movements with just one other person on stage or just a handful of people, but to have like 14 or 16 people really be in sync is crazy work. I liked that bit too. I also really liked the choreography with the brides in Act 1.
Oh my god, yeah.
Feet. Turn left onto East General Robinson Street.
This is very funny. I might edit this and I might not.
I mean, you could have, if you keep it in, you could have the real eagle-eyed listeners be able to dox you eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, we know where you live, bitch. But yeah, the brides were really fun. They did like a cheeky little stage trick where you have two brides come in and then the third one appears from within Harker's bed. And you
that
realize
ruled.
she's been there the whole time. You just haven't seen her. I'm like, that rips. And I guess I'll get it a little bit into Drac himself if you wanna.
Oh yeah.
At the light, turn left onto East General Robinson Street.
Like, I really, really liked his interplay between, like I said, like feral and aristocratic, and that he seemed like he was less interested in the killing and more interested in the chase. This Dracula was playing with his food in a way that I found really scary. And like those scenes with Jonathan, he has a duet with Mina, he has a duet with Lucy. And those seemed kind of like he was just toying with them.
Continue for 2 miles.
And that fucking ruled, actually. There's he stops the brides from attacking Jonathan, and we did get a baby bag. Hooray.
Baby bag!
And he kind of leads them around with it to get them away from Jonathan, and it's very intense movement. And then he finally just stops and stands still and like very casually, dismissively tosses it to them. It's like, all right, I'm done playing. That was good. After he bites Lucy for the first time, he has laid her completely on the floor, and he steps over her and kicks her and turns her over on the way out. And I'm like, that's so good. And I wish I saw more of that energy in current Dracula media. I mean,
Oh yeah.
what did you think of his bag in general?
I love this performance. I think one of my favorite moments is in the second act when, after the first time that Lucy has been bitten and they're trying to keep her safe, he appears in Renfield's cell, and then as he's waiting to make his move, he's just hanging upside down off of the railing like a bat. And the moment that the maid comes in and takes away the garlic, he like unfurls himself and slinks down down the scaffolding, and then rolls under a curtain into the foreground, and it is so cool.
That is crazy work. They made really good use of that set, like you said. But yeah, he all of his entrances, he has the craziest posture I have ever seen. Like, this motherfucker was beyond upright. I don't know how he was doing that. He has, as we were referring to him, as No Bones McGee. And as you said, it's a No Bones Day.
Yeah, No Bones Day in Transylvania.
Yeah, unbelievably fluid. It's crazy control, and I don't know how he did that. He did not seem human, and I know that's the point, but he really sold it. I loved this Harker too. I think he was appropriately scared. Make Jonathan Harker scared again. Of the women, I don't have I'm not a great judge, but I thought Lucy and Mina were pretty equally matched. They were so good that I kind of forgot that I was watching people.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the second Lucy solo was better than the first one, just because the first one kind of took place within that party scene, and it was just kind of like hard for me to track what was going on.
No, that one is that I think is difficult to parse.
Yeah.
You're waiting on introductions. There are a couple characters that look close enough. I think they're in. I wasn't looking close enough at the program beforehand. So a couple people, I'm like, is this Seward? There are enough guys who kind of look like they were wearing clothes that would like mark them as a doctor. And then eventually when he just wasn't there, I'm like, oh, okay.
That's just a dude. Got it. But like we said, our man Quincy Morris got some really chewy stuff. He and Arthur and Lucy had a couple of trios that were fun, and I was kind of expecting that, so I was pleased to see that they kept that in, because that was in Pages from a Virgin's Diary as well.
Oh, yeah.
Did not get a lot out of Arthur, sorry, bud. But did get a kind of deranged performance out of Renfield.
Oh my god, yeah.
That guy was nuts. Okay, so they have him again up in his little like stripper platform, where he's kept away from the general public, and he doesn't really get to cook for a while. But then he is let down by two guards, and Mina is staying at the sanatorium at this point. And it kind of went with the stuff from the book and a lot of adaptations we've seen where Mina seems to really genuinely care about all of the inmates in the asylum. But they put his ass in a straitjacket, and he's barefoot. And then he has a whole long duet with Mina.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy work. The second they put the straitjacket on him, I'm like, they gonna make this motherfucker dance. Like, goddamn, he was doing lifts without his fucking hands. She was crawling all over his ass. That was awesome.
I think a great thing that they're doing with Renfield when he's up in his cell is similar to Dracula. They're using the sound design of the set very well, and so you're getting these rhythmic clangs of him stomping his hands and his feet on the metal of his cell.
God, that was cool. Extremely cool. Yeah, that's kind of like the main cast there. Everybody was really good. Lucy is on stage for the entirety of Act 2. I don't think she leaves.
No, she does not once.
That's hard. What the fuck? Mina and Dracula's final duet also had some extremely impressive lifting where she's basically dead weight, and he's just like flinging her shit around, which was unreal. Like, I can't really, it's hard to describe some of the lifts that they were doing, but he would like throw her and drop her and catch her right before she hit the ground.
Oh yeah, it is like a rag doll.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But they made good use of the floor in this. There was a lot of crawling.
Oh yeah.
A lot of spooky stuff there. But man, that was a delightful time. Let me see if I asked Teresa to text us anything that she wanted us to mention. And I don't know if she did. So we'll find out here. Anything from Teresa? Oh, she's just sending photos. She said, thinking about ballet and that Harker scene, how you feel his pain. Yeah, the lead dancer was amazing. And one of my scenes is where they climb out of the catacomb crypts. Yes, Teresa's on it. And she says she is having a red wine. Bwahahaha. Appropriate. Teresa, you're the bomb.
We love you.
Is there anything else that you want to touch on before we finish our car ride home here? This was actually a great way to do this.
Yeah, wow.
I'm having a fun time.
I love that first of all, I love that this is our first time recording this show in person and it is in your car.
Oh, I did not even think about that. Yeah, we're always doing this on Discord. We could have had a proper episode, but honestly, this felt right. I feel
we'll just keep you guys on the hook for the first, like, real, like, studio quality one.
Yep.
I love during, like, right after that scene where all the vampires dancing in the crypt, the absolute jump scare of the explosion as the door of the crypt opens and the gang of light appears, and I think every single person in the theater jumped.
Oh, 100%. And that was definitely like, here comes Quincy Morris with the shotgun. Because they had it, his ass had a gun.
Oh, yeah.
A large section of Act 3, which was really, really fun. But yeah, that scared the shit out of everybody. There were a couple of girls by us who were like charmingly confused. Next to me being like, wait, which one is that? And being like, no, that's the other guy. which was really funny. And they all cheered really loud for Renfield because he was very handsome. Which I thought was funny.
And I think the last thing is also just after the show, pouring out of the theater and having a sea of goths mix in with a sea of black and yellow football jerseys intermingling on the street. Beautiful stuff.
It was pretty great. Yeah, it was exactly half Stillers fans and half goths dressed to the nines. So we will post our photos because we went full formal. We had a wonderful time. They had a very tasty drink, which is basically an Aperol Spritz.
With some grenadine
great.
blood. Yeah,
Sign me
loved
up.
it.
Easy peasy. That's kind of all I got. What about you?
I think so. I think that
Gorgeous.
wraps her up. And we're, a couple blocks from your place?
We are, in fact, a couple blocks from my place. Look at that. Live from the parking garage where we have made it out. Thank you guys so much for joining. We will catch you next time with a guest episode, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah.
All right. Till next time, friends. Bye.
Bye.